Yes, next please. Yes, take a seat. I'll be with you in just a moment. Oh my goodness. I don't need to ask why you've come today. Let me guess, you've been out in the sun. Well, it happens to all of us at one point in our vampire lives or another. Can I ask you if you are a newly made vampire? Well, don't worry. It happens to every single newly made vampire. And like I say, it happens to all of us, even the older ones. I know. So there's no need to be embarrassed. There's no need to stress. We can sort you out. You've come to the right place. So I see that you have quite a terrible sunburn. Yes, it's a lot different to human sunburn, as you have noticed. The humans tend to go lobster pink, and some of them get quite ill. But with vampires, it's a little bit different. As you can see, there are different stages to polymorpheous light eruption, or solar urticaria, as medically known for what you are experiencing right now. And like I say, it's different for vampires. It's a lot more painful, and there's a certain degree of scaling and shedding of the skin, but it's not your average shedding of your skin like a human's would peel and then the skin would grow back, yes? Well, in vampires society and vampire biology, the skin will scale up, it will fall off, and it generally won't grow back again. No. Unfortunately, as you are a newly made vampire, this will take a couple of hundreds of years for it to grow back fully. Once you reach, say my age, I'm about 1,000 years old. Once you reach my age, it will grow back a lot quicker. Maybe 10 or 20 years. But don't worry, it's okay. I can treat you today. I can treat the discomfort and some of the symptoms that you are experiencing. Alright, let me pop on some gloves. So, let me guess. You're trying to watch the sunrise? I just don't understand why newly made vampires always think that it's a good idea to watch the sunrise. And you don't have to tell me that you were just going to watch it for a little bit and then go back indoors. I mean, if you haven't seen a sunrise as a human, then you definitely shouldn't be allowed to see one as a vampire. I mean, it's ridiculously dangerous. You could be spotted by a human, or a walker, or a dog, or a child, or anything, and obviously you can get sunburnt. And I don't care how quickly you see it and go back in. As a newly made vampire, your skin is so delicate. I cannot even begin to describe it to you. It is like the oldest parchment paper and the most delicate suede that you can think of, and you must protect it. And I'm going to give you some tips and tricks on how to protect your skin as a newly made vampire, because they don't teach you this when you are first made. They just take your money, they put the blood of a vampire in you, and send you on your merry way. They do not give you the adequate teaching, the adequate training. They just send you on your way to get on with it, and I think that is so, so, so wrong. Can I ask you who you were made by? Aha, the Notorious. Well, her and I fell out a few millennia ago. Now, I won't get into it because obviously you're in quite a lot of discomfort, but let me tell you, she is a lot of people love her methods. I, for instance, don't. I think she's very unprofessional. I think she doesn't care for the newly made vampires. She comes from a very her moral compass isn't pointing north, if you know what I mean. She runs in a couple of different circles, which are, I mean, it's the cool crowd, but you wouldn't catch me in any of those. I come from a very strict upbringing. I was made traditionally many, many moons ago, and I come from a very traditional background, and I like things done to be done properly and to be done fairly. And I mean, back in the day when you were made a vampire, you would be made by your maker, of course, and you would stay with him or her for at least 500 years as an apprentice, learning the ways of a vampire, learning what to do and what not to do. But nowadays, unlike the vampire who made you, they just do it very old-fashioned. They don't even bite you anymore. They just do the IV drip and, like I say, send you on your way. There's no mentoring scheme. There's no guidance, no support. I could just go on and on and on about it, but that doesn't help you, does it? No. Well, I will refer you to a vampire counselling system that we have in place here at the hospital, and it's very, very good for transitioning your mind from human to vampire, because without the mentoring you can't adjust. You have to figure it out for yourself, and you could get into a lot of trouble if you break the rules. I understand you've read the manual, the vampire manual. Yes, so you know. But the vampire counselling that we have here is top notch, and I can do you a recommendation. Can I ask you who your vampire patron was or is? Well, goodness gracious, is it really? Well, me and Victor, we go way, way back. I know him very, very well. Well, give him my regards, won't you? Great. I can definitely put you in a recommendation, especially if you're Victor's protege. Alright, so let me take a little closer look at what we're dealing with here. Alright, so what were you wearing when you tried to watch the sunrise? So it would be on your arms and legs if you're wearing shorts and t-shirt. Alright, that's fine. We'll have a look at those in just a moment. I'm more concerned about your face because you've got quite a lot of swelling here actually, and that's quite rare. When was the last time you fed? Oh, that's quite a while ago actually. That's a shame. Do you have a job yet that you can earn credits and buy blood? No, you're in the process of it. Alright, no worries. I can give you a little bag once you leave, just to top you up. I think that's why there's a little bit of swelling, and is the swelling in the arms and the legs too. Alright. If we feed more often, then we can repair ourselves quicker, as you know. Yes, so that's why there's a little bit of swelling, but that's okay. You just have to keep hydrated, and that can greatly reduce the swelling. Alright. Now, does it hurt when I touch it? Yes. Alright, I'll try and be careful as much as I can. Now, have you noticed any itchy sort of bumps? And I can't see any on your face here, but have you noticed any sort of pus-filled sacs like rising up, and do they weep at all? Well, you're quite lucky because exposure to UV light, even in the tiniest of doses, actually can be fatal, as you know. I think any longer in the sun you would have burnt up to a crisp, and then there would be no saving you. But I think this is manageable. Obviously it's quite a severe burn, and there's only so much that I can do personally. It's all about time and all about healing. So unfortunately you're going to look a little bit crazy and a little bit obvious that you have been in the sun. You probably will see one or two vampires around that are red raw and flaking off a little bit, but it is quite rare nowadays. But don't worry, we can sort you out. And have you heard of the Necroman's Spa? Well, they do a cosmetic vampire spray tan, and although I don't recommend it now because that will sting quite a lot, I recommend once you're starting to heal just to get a spray tan, and you will blend a little bit more and you won't look so hideously red and quite so obvious. Well, yes, if you go and see Cecile Bellemare over at the Necroman's Spa in maybe about a year or so, once your swelling has gone down and the redness and itchiness have gone, then she'll sort you out. I don't personally have a spray tan. I think it's again, I think as a purist, as a pure vampire, I think having spray tans done is just a cosmetic thing. I think a lot of vampires feel they're too pale, and they want to blend in, and I understand why. It's easier to feed, it's easier to catch your prey, but once you get to my age, your skills for hunting are no longer required. You can employ people to hunt for you. There's services at the bank can help you, blood banks, all of that sort of thing. So I don't necessarily believe in a spray tan, but for people like yourself who have suffered trauma and have suffered this horrendous burn, I think it's perfect for you. Alright. Anyway, I do ramble on. I do apologise. It's just in my nature to talk. So, I think we are good. Do you need a glass of blood or anything? Alright. Okay, that's fine. Well, there's a vending machine just outside, so once we've finished, you're more than welcome to get one. I'll have the receptionist give you some credits because of your situation. Alright, and because you're Victor's protege. So what I'm going to do first, I'm going to use this cooling spray. Now this is going to just temporarily relieve the discomfort of that burning and itching sensation. It's not a long-lasting solution, so it's only going to last maybe a day or so, and you can reapply every day. or whenever it's getting to the point of very, very uncomfortable. And you can buy this at the pharmacy. And because you're Victor's protege, I will give you a prescription and you can get this for free. Yes, yes, I know. Me and Victor are very good friends, and yes. Well, yes, that's another story for another day. But anyway, I'll give you some credits for this, and you'll probably just need a few bottles to see you through. Like I say, you should start healing within the year. Alright, so if you just close your eyes for me. Good. Ready? How does that feel? A lot better, right? Stuff works wonders. And like I say, you can reapply that to your whole body, arms, face, legs, neck, back. I think what it would, you can just spray it directly or spray it in the air and stand under it, however you want to do it. But that's really good. So I'm going to give you some medication now. This is a vampire antihistamine. These aren't the same as human antihistamines because obviously we don't have a heartbeat, we don't have cell regrowth, our cells change in a different way to humans, so please don't think that you can go to a pharmacy, a regular pharmacy, and get these because you will die. If you take any human medication, it will affect you rather badly. Now, as a newly made vampire, you are susceptible to all sorts of internal diseases and, biological mishaps. But obviously, those human antihistamines can be fatal to newly made vampires. Obviously, if I took one as a 1,000-year-old vampire, I'd just be quite ill. So these are just for vampires. I'm going to pop you one out. And you can take one of these every day to minimise the swelling and to minimise the itchiness of the burn. And again, I'll give you a prescription for these, and again, those will be free for you. And I would say take these for about a year until the healing starts to commence. Alright, so they're just this tiny, tiny little tablet, and you just have to swallow it. Simple as that, right? Nothing too worrisome or bothersome. Alright, so in conjunction with the antihistamine, we have the antihistamine cream. This is just a small tube. For such a severe burn as yours, you'll have to buy like a pump, a tub, probably about 1,000 milliliters, I would say. How much is this? Oh, this is 20 grams. I know they do the pump ones, and you can rub that all over your body, all over your face, wherever you have been burnt. But today I'm going to just apply this to the areas that are obvious, so to say, so your face and your arms. I'll let you do your legs when you get back home. Where are you staying at the moment? Do you have a house yet? You're staying with Victor. Alright, that's fine. I'll get all of this stuff sent to Victor's house. Don't worry about going to the pharmacy, that will waste your time. I'll send all of this stuff, care of you, to your attention to Victor's house, okay? And you can go straight home and avoid seeing anybody else. So it is rather embarrassing. So some on my hand. You don't need an awful lot of this because it does go quite far. Alright. I'm sorry, are you okay? Good. It's quite uncomfortable. I do apologise, but you're going to start to feel a lot better in just a minute. And if you could just give me your hand, your arm. And your other arm. Thank you. You have nice nails. And I'll let you do your legs when you get home. Maybe I'll just get a little bit on the back of your neck here. Okay. Good. How do you feel now? A little bit better. Well, like I say, it's going to take some time, but no more walking in the sunlight, hey? Good. You did wonderfully well. I'm so proud of you. Yes, it's very, very uncomfortable to get such a severe burn as you have, but you were very strong, and I think with the treatment that we have given you today and that I will send to Victor's house, you are going to make a speedy recovery. Now, in the future, and I know I try not to, tell you what to do, but it would definitely help you in the future if you must go out in the sun, if we must see the sunrise, because I don't like to ever deny a vampire what they often long for, but there is certain precautions that you need to take. Obviously, wear a big brimmed hat, some UV blocking sunglasses, some UV blocking trousers and shirts. There is a tailor who make custom made 100% UV blocking clothing, and I'll give you their number because they are fantastic. I have a couple of different suits. I have a couple of different, everyday, casual. Even my, lab coat is 100% UV blocking. They can make anything and everything, and that is going to save you just beyond, because if you do have to make a mad dash, escape an angry mob, if you have to sort of flee from somewhere in the daytime, God forbid, then it will protect you. Now, it's not, even though it's 100% UV resistant, you can't stay out in the sun for like days on end. It's only for like quick bursts, so up to an hour, I think. They're constantly trying to make it, 2 hours or even a day, but the technology isn't really there yet. But I'll give you the number for that tailor because they are absolutely brilliant. Alright, I'll send it in with your goodie bag to Victor's house. And another thing, which is probably the most important thing, and this is why I have such a problem with being made a vampire like you were, because there's just not the education. What you must wear every single day is vampire sunblock, and this is going to cancel out all of the UV rays as long as you put it on your skin. And it does last about a day, so you can just apply it once throughout the day, and that's going to protect your skin, the exposed skin, to daylight. So if you partner up that sunblock with your sunblock clothes, your hat and your glasses, then, you know, problems like this, sunburn like this, is not going to happen. It's all about prevention rather than cure. And one last thing, have you heard of UV light therapy? I suppose not. Alright, well, once you're healed, I definitely recommend you to have a course of UV light therapy. Now, what it is, and I have one here to show you, so just step back a little bit because it might hurt. So what it is a UV light such as this. Now, I'm 1,000 years old, so this is nothing for me, but for a newly made vampire, what happens is they use a UV light like this in varying degrees of strength, and then they just shine it over your face and over your skin. I think what they do is they actually put you through like a do you remember the CAT scans when you were a human? Did you ever have one? Well, it's kind of like a CAT scan. They put you through a tube and it's filled with UV light. You go in naked, obviously, and you go through the tube and the UV light comes on all around you. And it's in varying degrees of strength. So for you, it'd be at the lowest level and for the shortest amount of time. And what you do is every week you go back and they gradually build up the dose of UV light. And towards the end of the year, or however long the treatment lasts for, you build up your tolerance to UV light. Now, in the old days, when I was made a vampire, we didn't have this technology. So really, you know, as a purist, I would say you need to earn your stripes, so to say, and earn your tolerance through age. But nowadays, newly made vampires just want everything all at once. So they want the immunity to sunlight, they want the special powers, they want the social hierarchy, the, blood bag, a human blood bag on tap. But all of these things take time. However, with the light therapy, you can kind of fast track that a little bit and help get your immunity up quicker and faster. So would you be interested in that too? Great. Well, the waiting list is very, very long, as you can imagine, but seeing as you're Victor's protege, then I'm sure we can bump you up. Well, it's been lovely to meet you, albeit under the circumstances, but like I say, I think you're going to make such a fast recovery and you'll be back to your normal self in no time. And your prescription, your medications and all your referrals will be with you the next working day. So the weekend's coming up, so maybe on Monday. Does that sound alright to you? Well, wonderful. It's been so good to meet you, and take care, and I'll try not to see you too often. Alright.